All right, so the Mariners got some good news and some bad news and some medium news and just a lot of stuff happened today with the Mariners. Tyler Locklear was recalled from AAA Tacoma as Luke Raley was placed on the 10-day IL retroactive to July 27th with back spasms. The team said that they don't believe that it is related to the oblique injury he suffered earlier in the year. However, we don't know 100% sure. They could be related. In terms of other news, the Mariners made a couple of big moves today as we designated right-handed pitcher Colin Snyder for assignment after we acquired um, left-handed pitcher Caleb Ferguson for our right-handed pitching prospect Jeter Martinez. So that's a trade that I think is a pretty good trade. I'm super excited to see how that works out because that gives us a second one of those left-handed leverage arms in the bullpen. Today, the Mariners scoring started off with the second batter of the game on a 3-2 count, Julio Rodriguez. Home run, 19th of the season. And then in the bottom of the first, Brent Rooker scored a home run, and then Tyler Soderstrom doubled to score Shea Langoliers 2-1 Athletics. Miguel Andujar homered in the bottom of the fourth, his fifth of the year. Daniel Hernandez homered on a fly ball to the left field, 4-1 Athletics in the fifth. Top seven, Jorge Polanco scores Josh Naylor and himself on a two-run home run to make it 4-3 in favor of the Athletics. Then Andujar homers again, making it 5-3. And then the top of the ninth, after Cal just doesn't do very well, Randy Arozarena hits his 21st home run. He is now two away from matching a career high. Brian Wu made a new franchise record today, beating Randy Johnson's 20 consecutive starts to start a season with 20 or more innings. I'm sorry, with 6 or more innings pitched. Can you imagine if you had to pitch 20 innings in a game? That would be horrible. He went 6 1/3, gave up 8 hits, 5 runs. They were all earned, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 4 home runs, moves to 3.11 ERA. Gabe Speier did 2/3 of an inning to close out the seventh, and then Bizardo worked the eighth. Between the two of them, they gave up 1 hit and struck out 3. For the Mariners to strike out 9, issued a single walk on 9 hits, 5 runs. Mariners today had two hits off Springs, one off Sterner, and one off Perkins. 4 hits, 3 of them were home runs. One of them wasn't. Um, all of the Mariners' runs were earned, so that was 4 hits, 4 runs, all runs earned, 2 walks, and struck out 7 times. Overall, I would say that that's numbers that you can kind of live with. You would think if you had your hits being the same as the number of runs you had, that you wouldn't have a problem. You would have been winning the game, but no. JP 0 for 4. Julio 1 for 4 with a run, a ribby, and a strikeout. He had that home run. That's okay. Cal struck out once, went 0 for 4. He's kind of struggling at the plate right now with just average, but he still has the power, so that's okay. Randy Arozarena had one of our hits today that wasn't a home run and a home run. 1 ribby, 1 run. Josh Naylor scored a run on that Jorge Polanco home run. His walk. He did strike out twice, and actually, this is the second game in a row that Naylor failed to get a base hit today, or for us, but that's okay. Jorge Polanco with 1 hit, 2 ribbies, 1 run. And then Garver, Canzone, Williamson, Cole Young, and Dylan Moore combined to go 0 for 8 with 1 walk. So overall, just not a great offensive showing from the Mariners. And what I can tell you right now is that the fact that the Mariners didn't have a great offensive showing in this AAA ballpark is worrisome because this is a Pacific Coast League ballpark. We all know Pacific Coast League ballparks have higher park factors for offense. It's like how um, the Mariners ballpark has a higher ballpark factor for pitching. Unfortunately, what I saw today was a team that just could not string hits together, could not string plate appearances together. If Cal gets on base in the top of the ninth, Randy's home run, that's totally different. It ties the game. Then who knows what happens with Naylor and Polanco, who would come up after that. But unfortunately, we didn't get to see that. Julio should have probably had a second home run, but unfortunately, the ball just died right at the edge. And Mitch Garver had some really good contact today, and only one strikeout, and he caught. So you really can't blame him for anything. Ben Williamson and Cole Young combining to go 0 for 2 with a walk and a strikeout kind of bothers me. Um, just because these two are seen as the kind of the future of the team. Dylan Moore came in and played third base. He didn't have any plate appearances, so he's still on a 197 average. And I do think the Mariners are going to try to move him between now and tomorrow and tonight at 4 p.m., 6 p.m. I just don't see anybody taking him. There is some potential news. It's 12:36 a.m. as I'm recording this video. I am not going to report on that in this video until I know it's official, but there is some rumblings from Jeff Passan that as of 12:36 a.m. today, we made another deal with the Arizona Diamondbacks, and because of the way that it's been reported and the fact that it looks like it's pending medical, I am not going to talk about that, but I will just say that the vibes might be immaculate pretty soon. Overall, Mariners struggled. They went 3-3 on the road trip. Yeah, 3-3 on the road trip. So a 500 road trip. Not the best thing in the world. Not the worst thing in the world. Yes, it was a 10-10 game. The reason it was a 10-10 game was because last year when they made the schedule, they were like, it can be 100 degrees in Sacramento. We have to play a night game, and it's not too long of a trip up to Seattle. The Rangers also played tonight, and I believe that they had a late yes, they had a late game because it was in LA. So the Mariners still have a little bit of a travel advantage coming in on the night game after night game instead of night game after day game. But overall, I think good things are gonna happen. Don't forget to take some time to follow me on my other platforms. You can follow me at the YouTubes, otherwise linked in my bio, or The Trapezoid Talks is the main YouTube channel. You can book me on Cameo at Sammy5436. Patreon and other paid services platforms are also Sammy5436. You can check me out on Instagram at Sammy54362 and Samantha P54361. And I'm on Twitter and Blue Sky, though I'm not very active there. But thank you for joining me for another video. Plenty more coming up in a moment on the Trapezoid Network.